What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, another interesting topic to discuss with you guys. Yes, I'm filming out of my truck today. We are deep into coronavirus quarantine territory. I hope everybody's having a fabulous quarantine. Today, we're going to be talking about how to start a business while working a full-time job, part 2. Now, in the last video, we touched base on kind of a lot of stuff, but basically, I want to make the point, a lot of it is in your mind, right? And it took me a while to realize that, as I was kind of content with what I had at the time and not really wanting more. So I think it's that hunger, that hunger for more, that pushed me, in order to provide a better future for my kids, that I need a better present for myself and all of us together. And really that involved doing something that I feel passionate about and doing something that I enjoy to kind of give me both that, that outlet. And I mean, if your hobby is something that you can make some money on, come on, why are you not doing it today, right? So for me, I want to go more in depth today about, in my example specifically, what are some of the things that I did that helped me to get where I am. Which, don't misunderstand, I am not too far into my process. I'm literally about a year into having started a business and really just learning all this stuff from scratch. So I started. A lot of it was a lot of YouTube videos. So for a while, full-time student at YouTube University, it's free. You can learn a bunch of stuff on there. And if you have any kind of interest in anything, I think it's almost second nature to you just go to like a search engine and punch in, how to do this or how to do that or whatever it is you might be looking for. And so for me, it was a lot of, starting out with basic photography and how to get clients. And then as I kind of evolved into filmmaking and videography, for me, once it evolved, then it encompassed more, right? So not only do you have to learn, the camera basics with photography, like your ISO and shutter speed, aperture, your white balance, the rules of composition, all of that. But then once you have that solid foundation built in photography and a basic knowledge of like lighting and all of that, and you can actually take all of that, and it all pertains into filmmaking. So all of the rules for the rules of composition for photography are really, a lot of them are the same for filmmaking as well, maybe with a few exceptions, because obviously you have camera movement, you have sound involved in audio as well, so there's more moving pieces, if you will. But that is something that we'll get to in videos later on. For now, we're going to cover, like, basically just when you're first starting out, how do you go about doing that? And then my vision for this channel is to build on that and build on that foundation where we go from, okay, now we've started to learn about, photos and stuff, and how do we build on that? And then how do we move to filmmaking? How do we move to more advanced, more advanced visual storytelling and making more cinematic footage and all of that. So we're kind of going to start down here and progressively work our way up. And also I'm the type, because I'm hungry. I'm hungry to learn new things, to learn everything that I can about this thing that I love to do, right? And so strong passion of mine which is visual storytelling, and I'm always looking to learn the next thing, whatever that might be. So I'm not opposed to learning one thing today and then, you know, making a video about it next week. That's something I'd totally be down for that. And that's kind of where I want this channel to go. I want it to be kind of a open-ended, you know, if there's stuff that you guys want to see and learn about, if it's related to photography and filmmaking, let me know down in the comments, and and we can make all that happen, as long as it's something pertinent to what we're talking about. But essentially, the point that I really just want to stress home, your mentality and using the resources at your disposal. So for me, some of those resources included, for example, I have two brothers, both who are business owners, and free work. Hey, I love doing free work, especially when you're just starting out. And I shouldn't say I love doing free work, because next thing you know, I'll be getting hit up for all kinds of free work. Let me rephrase that. Sometimes you can receive payment that is something other than money, like for instance, the practice, the exposure. And believe me, I'm a single dad. I'm well aware you cannot feed your kids on exposure. I totally get that. But it could lead to a job down the road. Or, you know, just getting your foot in the door might get you more clients with from that one particular referral, or whatever the case might be. So, I mean, as you can see, there's kind of a lot of ways where you can snowball this, leading to making you more money, which at the end of the day, I mean, that's kind of what it's all about, right? We want to provide for our families. We want to put food on the table. We want to buy a whole bunch of stuff that we probably don't need and can go without, but hell, that's the hell of it, right? If you can make money and you're past the struggle of shelter, food, and water, God bless you. That's what it's all about. Get past those those basic necessities, and just demanding a lot more from life, and more for yourself too, because something that goes a long way is a lot of hard work, right? So a lot of hard work goes into this, and you have to be ready and almost expecting failure. I said it. Expect failure. Now, expecting it doesn't mean, just take it and accept it. I said expect it, not accept it. So you want to be expecting to fail, which in other words mean preparing yourself for that possibility, right? And so you kind of, you stack the chips in your favor, if you will, just in case things go sour, or, you got to go to plan B or plan C, or, whatever the case might be. I'll give you a really pertinent example right now with all these shutdowns and this quarantine and stuff. A lot of businesses are closing down, and I feel for them. I feel for a lot of restaurants, bars, a lot of freelancers going out of business just because of the uncertain time in the economy, and people are reluctant to spend money right now just because you don't know what's going to happen, or how long this thing is going to last, or any of that. And so having a backup plan, and several backup plans, will actually go a long way. So for me, and anyone in the visual arts field, there's a couple apps. There's an app called Upwork and an app called Fiverr, both which are essentially freelance artist type of websites where, for my field, if you need a photo edited or some video clips edited together, or something along those lines, if you have like some old picture that's out of, if it's out of focus, look, you probably should out of luck, right? But yeah, if you're in need of freelance services, there are apps like Fiverr and Upwork, which you could go as a client and request a service, or if you're an artist and provide that service, you could actually be a provider on Fiverr and Upwork, where essentially you build a portfolio, you build an account with the website, and you become a provider and a servicer, and you're a freelancer, right? And so a lot of that can be done remotely as well, where if you use something like Dropbox to exchange or share files, you could use that towards to your customers, with your customers, so that you don't have to actually physically meet them in place. So to wrap up the video, let's on the next one, we're going to be talking about in depth and the basics of photography, right? So this is how it all starts. I mean, when I first picked up a camera, I didn't know what shutter speed, aperture, ISO was, white balance was, any of that good stuff. Really, you can pick up a camera, put that sucker on automatic and go shoot. But really, it's kind of like handcuffing the camera, because you could do so much more with it if you operate it in manual and you learn the different settings on your camera. And that's what the next video is going to be about, where we'll take my DSLR, we'll take it out and actually play around with it, take a few shots. We'll go through fast shutter speed, slow shutter speed, wide aperture versus pinhole aperture, and also your ISO, which is, I mean, it's all pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it, but just when you don't know it, and it's kind of like, what the hell is that, until you kind of look into it. So don't worry about that. We'll cover it on the next video. For this one, just keep in mind, mentality is a lot of the battle. So if you are if you're tenacious and persistent, don't take no, and at the end of the day, expect failure and prepare for it. I think you should be all right. But the main thing is always something, if it's something you're passionate about, then it just resonates, and I really strongly believe that's why I'm out here. I don't have a lot of fancy filming gear. Actually, I mean, you see me, I'm not even in a studio right now. I'm just sitting in my truck recording this. This is being recorded, by the way, on a DJI Osmo Pocket, 4K at 24 frames, and my sound, I'm catching it separate on this little guy. It's F1 zoom with the lavalier setup that you see on my necklace. And basically, this was the reason that I did all of this, is because I kept hearing, Gary Vaynerchuk, he kept telling me, look, don't wait for all that fancy gear. If you feel strongly about something and you have a passion, get that message out there. Don't wait for no fucking gear, man. Just get the message out there, and the gear will come, the skills will come, but as long as the passion is here, good to go. All right, guys, on that note, be safe, stay healthy out there. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.